I don't give about the scientific explanations. People, if they identify as a woman, get to compete in sports. If that's not fair in the short term for a variety of little competitions, I don't, because the societal interest of including trans people in society trumps stupid competition. Full stop. So I'm right about this. You're wrong about this. Anyway, Dr. Shock, I agree. Let's get rid of weight classes in all combat sports. Perhaps have grown man compete in Little League. Sometimes life's not fair. Whatever. But if they're not able to accommodate trans people, then they're not worthy of existing. It's just, be inclusive or don't be. That's it. Or don't exist.
Or don't exist.
Be inclusive or don't exist. This is some Nazi stuff. Is the highest level of female soccer in the USA. Played with a club named Wrexham. Wrexham is a UK football club that plays on the not on the A, not on the B, not on the C, but on the D list of teams, of soccer teams in England. We're going to play the highlights.
The ball. And we are good to go. We're underway here in the first half. Lewis Lloyd trying to cross in the middle, and a first initial shot. Now the header, another save by Lindsey Harris. Two of them. Now the back post, and that's going to hit the side of the net. Are you kidding me right now? Again, you got to be careful. There's a shot, and there's a goal. First goal of the game goes to Wrexham.
Wrexham is knocking at the door.
Chance for the keeper. Nice spin move here by Lloyd. Lloyd fires and scores. Back-to-back goals here by Wrexham, and it's a counter. Another shot and another goal. And yes, it's Lewis Lloyd again.
More players around him, and also look for the players running off of him. It's a big ask, but...
Well, there's Trundle, and now a takeaway. But Trundle able to keep it with the left, and Trundle with his second goal.
Explosive and trying to kill teams off. So, yeah, so far so good in this game.
So far so good. Another goal. Trundle got a hat trick. Follow. Murkoff trying to move around, and that's going to be a nice pass and a goal. Murkoff takes that shot with the left, and Murkoff is able to get one.
Locking your ankles and swinging to make that perfect contact.
And that was perfect contact, a nice feed.
I mean, it's a fast pace. You know, a lot of these guys have a lot of experience, a lot of goals as well, like that, exactly.
Here's a turnover. Jarvis, there it is. Game over. 12-0, Wrexham defeats the U.S. women.
12-0 versus the U.S. soccer national team. So we've seen this before. Remember when the Australian women's soccer team lost to the 15-year-old boys? Well, at some point in time, this used to be common sense, but not anymore. It's just obvious. It's dudes versus girls. I wanted to talk about this because I also want to talk about the trans women in women's sports. People are just letting it happen, and if you give it a couple of years, trans women are going to take over women's sports. Do you remember Fallon Fox? The guy who broke a woman's skull? A bunch of women that fought him didn't even know he used to be a man. That's incredible. And this is a trans woman that transitioned almost at 30 years old. I'm going to show you the fight.
Wow, Erica Newsom goes for the takedown. Fallon Fox escaped. They're both back up on their feet.
Good throws and reversals by both fighters.
These girls are getting right into it. Fox to the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox. Game over.
Wow.
And a quick finish to our first preliminary. One knockout. Fallon Fox.
How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling excellent. That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Yeah! And I want to tell everyone else, I'm coming in this tournament. Every woman in this tournament better look out. I'm freaking coming.
Check another one out. This is a trans student who spiked a volleyball into another student's face. That could be an accident. I'm not saying it's on purpose, but let's see the results. Boom, right in the face. Let's see it again. Boom, right in the face. This is the student who got hit in the head by that ball.
And was there any concern at that point?
Yeah, there was. We knew that we couldn't really play back. They hit it so hard that we didn't really know. We weren't used to taking hits that hard, so it was difficult for us from the beginning. But it's a conference team, so we had to play them. We couldn't just refuse the game.
What happened in the game when you got hurt? Walk us through the moment.
So I was hit and everything went black. My teammates and coaches said I was unconscious for about 30 seconds. While my team was huddling around me, the opposing team was laughing.
What are the lasting effects from what happened to you?
I have impaired vision, so I had to get my glasses redone. I have partial paralysis on my right side, so my right side lags slightly. I have really bad headaches, but not as bad, but they're getting better. But I do have bad headaches. I have to have accommodations at school and test in separate rooms and get extra help when that's never been a problem before. I was really depressed. I had a really long depressive episode, and I have anxiety now. But I'm trying to get better from it, but it has affected me, mentally and emotionally.
Did the person who hurt you ever reach out to you and say, "My God, I'm so sorry"?
They did reach out about a week ago, for the first time ever, and there was no remorse. It wasn't an apology or anything. It was kind of just a little hateful comment, but that's the only time they've directly reached out to me.
This is a teenage girl who got hit in the face so hard she has partial paralysis on the right side of her body, headaches, needs accommodation at school. She's not performing the same as before. Why? Because a man spiked the ball into her face. But if you say something, you're the weird. No, dude. This is absurd. This poor lady got her life affected because some guy decided he didn't just want to be a girl. He wanted to be a girl volleyball player and spiked the ball in her face so hard, knocked her unconscious. And when she was unconscious in the ground, the other team, allegedly, according to her, was laughing, giving another person probably lifelong trauma. This is absurd. This is incredible. Letting these dudes destroy women. I wanted to lay the ground on these things and show you this woman too. This is the representation of the other side of the debate. The other side doesn't care about these anecdotes, doesn't care about studies, doesn't care about scientific facts, strength, bone density. They don't care about none of that because I've debated them and I know this firsthand. Their mind will just go smoothly through every single one of those things like you never said them. Here I have one that's gonna say it from her mouth. Here we have Miss whatever her name is.
Your argument is really bad on this and you're out of your depth. You're correct that trans women should be able to compete in women's sports, but your argument for it is just scientifically and factually incorrect. I'm actually not bad about this. I'm 100% right on this. I don't give a about the scientific explanations. People, if they identify as a woman, get to compete in sports. If that's not fair in the short term for a variety of little competitions, I don't give a because the societal interest of including trans people in society trumps stupid competition. Full stop. So I'm right about this. You're wrong about this. Anyway, Dr. Shock, I agree. Let's get rid of weight classes in all combat sports. Perhaps have grown man compete in Little League. Sometimes life's not fair. Whatever.
She cares about being right. That's all she cares about. I'm right about this. That's her conclusion. Her conclusion is she's right. If she thinks she's right, she doesn't give up reality. That's it. So this is straight from the horse's mouth. She doesn't care about your science. She doesn't care about truth. All she wants is to be right.
I mean, honestly, like women's sports, it's barely an institution. It's only been around for a few decades.
So women's sports has just been on the ground for a few decades. Let's fucking destroy it. Who gives a about it?
But if they're not able to accommodate trans people, then they're not worthy of existing. Like it's just like we're talking about movie theaters. What are we talking about here? I mean, I love sports as much as anyone, but if they cannot accommodate, including trans people, I don't give a shit about them being robust. It's just, be inclusive or don't be. That's it. Or don't exist.
If they aren't capable of accommodating trans people, they are not worthy of existing. Did you hear her words? They are not worthy of existing. She's talking about women's sports. This is unbelievable.
It's just, be inclusive or don't be. That's it. Or don't exist.
Be inclusive or don't be. That's it.
Or don't exist.
Be inclusive or don't exist. That's the mantra of a whole bunch of people. Be inclusive or don't exist. This is some Nazi stuff.
And just, there's not even evidence to show that this is the case.
There's not even evidence to show that this is the case.
But just take their assertion at face value for a second, that this is some unfair advantage. I mean, there's an unfair advantage all the time in sports. That's actually quite, that's the nature of sports.
Disinformation is king. You go to Independent Women's Forum, right? Fact check. Does allowing male-bodied students to compete as women negatively impact athletic programs? There's no evidence in the 18 states with policies that allow transgender athletes to participate on teams consistent with their gender identity that inclusion negatively impacts athletic programs. So this evidence they're talking about is specifically studies about men in women's sports, right? They don't care about all the other studies about strength, about the difference between the genders physically. They don't care about those. They care about specific studies saying that trans athletes have an advantage over women in women's sports. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me when tobacco companies used to make their own studies. It can cure depression and headaches. You should have some tobacco. It's the same thing. And these people are literally calling you dumb. Who are you going to believe? The Independent Women's Forum or your lying eyes?
I saw you with my own eyes. Well, who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes?
Incredible. Calling you stupid right in your face. That was today's episode. Subscribe, like the video, do all that. Have a good one. Bye-bye.